everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's Jeannie, and welcome to Lips, Shoes, and Issues. Thought that I would do an evening video, hence the evening light, kind of giving it a evening ambiance instead of the normal daylight, bright lights. It's, more of a relaxing talk. I thought that maybe we could talk about anxiety and health. I think there's something that a lot of us deal with, and it's called anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety disorders out there. And a lot of people can't put their finger on it as to why they get it, why they get all this anxiety, panic attacks. And I'm one of them. I definitely have anxiety disorder. And the unfortunate part is my anxiety comes sometimes in the middle of the night. I don't have a problem falling asleep, but I do wake up about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And sometimes it's from anxiety. Sometimes it's just waking up. And this fear can take a toll on your health. Your heart's racing. And in my situation, I had an illness. It's an incurable illness, which to me, when somebody tells me something's incurable, that to me means you have to cure it from within, which I believe that I have, except for every once in a while I get a flare, but it's called interstitial cystitis. And what it is it's when the bladder lining disintegrates from your bladder. So you end up with a bladder with no lining, which means anything that hits the bladder is extremely painful. So as any of you may know, urine is acidic, and acidic urine puts me into a complete frenzy. If I were to give this disease one word, the word would be debilitating. There are over 35 million women that have this disease in this country alone, yet it's not really recognized in the medical community. When I first started getting the symptoms, of course I had no idea what they were. It just felt like a bladder infection. And when I say just felt like a bladder infection, I would say, which a bladder infection is a UTI, I would say a UTI times 1,000. Now, if any of you ever had a UTI, you know what I'm talking about. It's pretty bad. But if you take that and you multiply it by 1,000, it's like having slivers of glass in your bladder. And it's something that you can't live with. You cannot live with. It's pure suffering. So it took me 2 years to work through that. And what ended up happening, because I was taking painkillers, anti-anxiety medicine, I was told by one doctor to see a psychiatrist. I just, it took a good year to get a diagnosis, because I'm going to the doctor. I'm thinking, no, I have a UTI. No, you don't. Well, wait a minute, what's going on? What is this? I mean, I don't know if any of you are experienced going to the doctor because you have something, and of course you walk out of there not knowing what it is, because there's so many things that could be wrong, or there's so many illnesses that they just can't put their finger on, so you're really left on your own, which is what I really ended up learning in the medical community is anything that's wrong with you, you better figure it out for yourself. Otherwise, they're just going to put you on medication. And medication is good for you. Not all of it anyway. Some of it, yeah. But antibiotics, I mean, it serves a purpose until they're giving it to you over and over and over and over again, which they don't do anymore. For me, it was a little too late. But I had to nurse my own way back to health, and I just found in my situation that I had to remain alkaline in order to be able to urinate. Might be TMI, but we're all grown adults here on my channel. And if you're not, well, you're learning something. But it is what it is. My urine just couldn't be acidic. That's the one thing I did learn. So I had to make it as alkaline as possible. And in order to do that, I had to eat alkaline foods and get rid of any inflammation that was in my body. And that's what I worked towards. So I ended up, I ended up blending turmeric with celery juice and drinking that and eating raw salads with no dressing. And I did that for a few days and I started to feel relief, and that's when I realized I was onto something. So I remained on a green diet for a very long time. And sooner or later, I actually did get rid of all of my symptoms. Now, every once in a while, because I go back on a regular diet right now, and I do drink wine, and, as I drink wine. However, wine, I think, gives me anxiety. But anyway, my flares are few and far between now, but every once in a while I will feel a little bit of a burn, and I'll know right then and there I'm a little acidic. And that's when I'll drink maybe some baking soda and water, because that will immediately alkaline my body, and then I get back on the greens. And then I'm back to normal. I'm okay. So I've learned to get this under control. But this illness made me vulnerable, very vulnerable, and I was never vulnerable before. And that's kind of a scary thing for me, because I was always a very strong person, still am. And it just brought on a lot of anxiety and this need to be approved. Like, I need people to approve of me. It's very strange. I get over it, but it's just something that's very deep inside of me. And if I feel somebody's mad at me or somebody dislikes me, it literally can give me anxiety. I can really jump from, 0 to 360 in a millisecond. And then I work my way through it. But the anxiety and the panic attacks and the fear that I get sometimes at night is just too much to bear. I'll put on YouTube, watch some videos, and that'll get my mind off of it. Sometimes that does help, but I don't know if any of you go through what I go through. Let me know, comment below, and let's have a conversation. Let's open it up. I'm at a point right now where I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It happens, and maybe we need to talk about it. I think a part of it for me is, I was a single mother of 3 kids, and when I do wake up at night, what I think about is all my failures. I don't ever think about my successes. I think about my failures and all the things that I failed at and what I didn't measure up to. And that could be one of the deep reasons why I get the anxiety. The one thing I did stop eating is well, I don't eat red meat. I try to be a vegan and a vegetarian as much as possible, but I will eat chicken, because we'll make chicken marsala or something like that. And I will eat the chicken, but I do make sure that it's organic, sustainably humane chicken. Meaning that, these were not abused animals, these were pastured animals. Because, if you think about it, why would you eat meat from an animal that's been abused, obviously their cortisol levels are extremely high. What do you think you're eating in the meat? You know, you're going to eat meat with high cortisol hormones and cortisol levels in it, and you think you're not going to get anxiety? Yeah, you know. So that's one reason why there could be a panic disorder that is running so high in so many people today. You know, plus work can, you know, stress people out. There's so many things, and there's also really great medications that can help people that, you know, have a hard time with it. You know, I'm also an artist and I'm a writer, and so I'm very deep within my head, and so I handle things a lot differently. I'm not a painter or a drawer, but I write, and I write music, and I have stories in my head, and that also contributes to my weirdness sometimes, which could also bring on anxiety. And so when you know, hear about all these other artists that can't seem to handle life, I relate to that. I understand that, because I know, you know, you're such in your own head that you just can't release what's in there. And nobody seems to understand when you do. And when you reach out and you say things that are just off the wall, a lot of people reject you. They don't want to hear it, you know. They don't want to know it. They don't want to hear it. All they want to know and hear is that you're normal and you're okay. Well, all right, I can fake it. Sometimes I'm not okay. So, you know, just saying, let's talk about it. But I can tell you this. I did find this, and maybe this will help some of you out there that are maybe going through some of this or any of this or something like this every once in a while. I have an Alexa, and I do put on, she's going to talk. And I tell her to put on pink noise. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of white noise or pink noise. Pink noise to me is a little gentler version of the white noise. And what it is it's a noise that they play in a courtroom in order for you not to hear the lawyer's sidebar with their witness or sidebar with the judge. They'll put this noise on so nobody else can hear in the courtroom. And I was in a courtroom once when they did it, and I just remember, I mean, they must have played it for a good 15 minutes, and I thought I was going to fall asleep. It was so relaxing. All he kept saying was, oh my gosh, this noise is so relaxing. I never felt so relaxed being in a courtroom before. And so I went home and I immediately put it on, and now I play it every night, and I love it. That I do find calming. So, you know, that may be something you want to try. Anyway, thanks for listening. Please comment below. Please subscribe and like this video if you like it. And let's open up the conversation. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Let's just love each other, because I think love will solve everything, especially anxiety. Love you.